Hi, everyone. Welcome to Soul Talk. I'm Patty Malek, and today our guest is Bernadette Bloom. I'm excited to have Bernadette on. She is a medical intuitive, an energy healing practitioner, and a holistic physical therapist. We're going to talk about esoteric healing and just what that is. Some of you may be familiar with it. It is a high vibrational energetic healing that can resolve pain and trauma or conflicts from the past, detect dis-ease before it manifests itself in the physical body. And we're also going to talk about what the antahkarana rainbow bridge is and how to build it to the soul and then to the monadic plane. Bernadette says that meditation, study, and service are keys to discovering this mystical experience. So I'm anxious to find out what that's all about. And we're also going to take your questions. So you can hit *2 on the phone, or you can type them in to the webcast. And I would say, if you're going to type them into the webcast, be sure to leave your name and what city you're in so we can kind of tap into your energy. It can be anything about getting healthier or healing or emotional trauma, the esoteric significance of a disease. Bernadette's going to cover it all. For almost 41 years, Bernadette has used her gift of energy healing to successfully help clients all over the world overcome physical, mental, and emotional problems using a high vibration energetic technique from Tibet called Esoteric Healing. She can detect the locations of blockages and negative energy patterns within the body's energy field and the chakras. And once it's detected, Bernadette can then shift this energy pattern quickly, easily, and naturally by balancing your body's bioelectric field. This process restores the natural flow of energy into your chakras and then into your mental and emotional levels, and lastly, into your physical body. And I am thrilled to have Bernadette here in this new year of 2018. I want to welcome you. Welcome to Soul Talk, Bernadette.
Hi, Patty. Hi, everybody. It's great to be here from freezing cold New York.
Oh, bummer. The United States is really getting hit with cold this year, for whatever that means, whatever the significance of that is, I don't know, but I'm happy to be here in California where it's warm, so I feel for you.
Now, they're predicting 4 inches of snow tonight, and the school closings and the business closings have been coming in all day long, so.
Oh, my. Well, maybe it's all about just retreating and going inside and, just being instead of doing. Who knows?
I agree. And
yeah.
having a nice warm fire in the fireplace. So
yeah, what could be better? Yeah.
Hot soup.
So let's talk about just, I think maybe some of your people are here, but I'm sure there's a lot of new people here that don't know what esoteric healing is. Fill us in. Just what is it?
So esoteric healing is a high vibrational energetic technique that comes from a Tibetan master named Djwhal Khul. And he channeled 26 books. They all happen to be blue. People say, well, I got the blue book. And I'm like, which one? Because they're all blue. Channeled 26 books to a woman named Alice Bailey. And so it's written in her language. It's his language, but written through her. And it's Victorian English, so it's very difficult to understand. So you can maybe read 3 sentences a night and then meditate on it for 3 days and hopefully to figure it out. But
wow.
he gave this work to the planet so it would be good for 200 years. And we're past the 100 mark. And so more and more people are interested in it. And the good news is I've taken this very esoteric, which means hidden, to seek out work and translate it into hopefully the language that people understand.
So go ahead.
So for me, I've studied as a traditional physical therapist and moved into the energetic modalities. I can't say I studied all of the energetic modalities because there's a lot of them. But for me, this one gives me the most tools to help the most people. And because I'm a teacher, I teach this work. It's one of my favorite things to do. I teach it to people so then they can use it in their everyday life and work on themselves and their families and their friends and just use it no matter what they do for a living. So it also can be very, very, very specific. So if somebody says to me, well, what level is involved, I can tell you what level is involved versus, well, I don't really know. There's a blockage somewhere, but I really can't figure it out.
So does esoteric healing, does it define the energy makeup of the body differently than other modalities?
Yes. Again, I can't say that I've studied all of them, but to my knowledge, it does. We have a model that we use. It's called the Constitution of the Human Being, and there's 7 levels of consciousness. The last one is the physical body. So the physical body receives the energy the last. The one above that is the emotional body. Some people will call it the astral body. So the emotional body controls the physical body. Then there's the mental body, or we call it the lower mind. That's the way you think, whether you like it or not. And then we have the level of the personality. The personality is a combination of the mental body, the emotional body, and the physical body. Then journeying upwards in consciousness, we have the soul, and there's 3 aspects of the soul. That's the first part of the spiritual body. And then there's this hidden place in between the soul and the monadic plane that's called the spiritual triad. And I've never seen it mentioned in any other of the energetic practices. And the spiritual triad is spiritual, hence the term spiritual triad. And the components of the spiritual triad are spiritual mind, spiritual love, and spiritual will. And that, according to the esoteric teachings, is where you find the origin of some of these really complex situations that are on the planet today, the cancers, the fibromyalgias, the Parkinson's, the autism, the Lou Gehrig's disease, the muscular dystrophy, the autistic people, the Parkinson people. The origin is in a spiritual triad. It manifests in the physical body, but the origin is in the spiritual triad. And then because these imbalances are in the spiritual triad, you have to have, according to the esoteric teachings, another plane of existence that does not have this imbalance, and that's the monadic plane or the I am present. The monadic plane or the I am present. And that's the first separation from the creator or source or higher power, higher field of consciousness, or whatever you want to call this highest energetic presence. How's that?
So, yeah, I'm really trying to wrap my head around it, but I think, I'm going to go a little more detailed. So what types of energies are involved? Is it love or prana? Or?
In the esoteric work and the esoteric healing? Okay, so on the monadic plane would be peace, would be enlightenment, would be joy, would be divine love. Those are the energetic feelings or expressions on the monadic plane. And in order to truly heal, you have to be in joy between 60 and 80% of the time, past, present. So we want to be in joy, which is a lot different than the other energies that would be shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, or pride. Those are lower vibrations. Those are the vibrations of the personality, the lower mind, the emotional body. When they get stuck in the physical body and they make you sick.
Okay. So, all right. So when a client is laying on the table in front of you, is it like Reiki that you're working on them, or?
No. I am not a Reiki master, but I have a background in my Reiki. So Reiki does not acknowledge the spiritual triad or the monadic presence. So when I'm working on, they do acknowledge the soul. So when I'm working on a client, I ask them before they come to me in my private practice to pick three emotional things that they have not been able to resolve on their own. 3 emotional things that they have not been able to resolve on their own. And they have to email them to me. So I have them ahead of time, so the people have to do some sort of introspective work. Most people say just 3, and I'm like, let's just start with 3, and we'll work our way around the clock. And then what I do, we have a centering prayer, which is called the Alignment and the Attunement, and there is, on my package, there is an MP3 that talks about the alignment and the attunement. And the alignment and the attunement makes a connection through the rainbow bridge or the antahkarana to these higher planes of existence where the imbalance does not exist. And we bring that healing energy through that person. So I'm not doing the healing work. I'm the facilitator. The person's soul and the person's monad is doing the healing work. We ask for the highest and the best good, and I allow all this healing energy to come through me back into that person. And using the principles of energy follows thought, I start to think the different chakras. So say I'm going to do the solar plexus, and I'll think physical, emotional, mental, personality, soul, and spiritual. And I can feel or I can sense or I'll hear where the blockage is. And I'll do that for every single chakra, and I make a note of it. And then, depending upon what their issue is and depending upon the guidance that I get from the soul and their monad, because, again, I am working to be in alignment with spirit and connecting to that person's soul and monad, and the soul and the monad of my client is the one that's giving me the guidance, not their emotional body. People say, well, I just go from my gut. I don't want you to go from your gut. I want you to go from your soul and your monadic plane, not your gut. The gut gets you into trouble if you go from your gut. And then what I do is, depending upon the guidance that I get, balance the nervous system, because the nervous system is the first physical part of your body that gets the energy. And then we balance the endocrine system, and then the blood, because the blood goes to every single part of your body. And the last place that gets the energy are the organs, not the first. The last place. So
that's
one of the so the difference again with this technique, it helps you to get the energy into the organ, not just the chakra. The chakras can be balanced, but the rest of the body cannot be doing so well. You have to get the energy into the organs: the stomach, the liver, the gallbladder, the duodenum, the eyes, the ears, the brain. The brain is an organ. That's the cliff notes of what I do.
Okay. So that's why you say that the soul is considered the healer.
The soul is the healer, and with these other complex situations that I mentioned, the Parkinson's, the Lou Gehrig's disease, the autism, the MS, the fibromyalgia, which is really big, the autism population, you have to connect with the monad. The soul isn't high enough. The soul is not high enough. And I can actually, if you want to, I can talk you through this alignment and attunement connection, and I do it every day. I do it every day before I get out of bed. I do it with every client. I teach everybody it because that is the key to building this antahkarana or the rainbow bridge. That is the key.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about that. I wanted to ask you about, before we go there, when you have a cold, is that coming from an emotional issue?
Yes. The cold and the flu are emotional issues, and it's the emotional level of the heart chakra and the emotional level of the basic chakra or the root chakra is involved. And I did another MP3 about how, because it's, flu season, it's cold season.
Right.
You really cannot catch the cold and the flu. You cannot catch it. I don't care if people sneeze on you, cough on you, you pick up a handkerchief that somebody coughed in. The germs are always present. The germs are always, always, always present. They're there all the time. But it's when your immune system, which is controlled by the heart chakra, is low. Your immune system is low, which is controlled by the heart system, and the basic chakra is low. That's the root chakra that controls your adrenal glands. When those two are low, then your system gets depleted, and then the flu virus says, look at over here, there's this body that we can go invade for a while and have some fun. Once I figured that out, I didn't get sick again.
That was something that I finally came to understand. I was really, when I don't get sick anymore, but when I was getting colds, I would really go back and think about what precipitated just before I started noticing a symptom. And it was always that I had some kind of a negative thought wherever it came from, whatever it was. So it, that is, makes total sense, that it comes from an emotion. You were negative about something upset you or something, emotional. And
do you think about when the cold comes around or the flu comes around? It comes in the winter months, and people usually say, "Oh, that's because we're inside. We don't get enough exercise. We get cold." No, the winter months. That's when we have Thanksgiving. That's when we have Christmas. That's when we have Kwanzaa. That's when we have New Year's. That's when we have tax time. That's when we have Valentine's Day. That's when we go back to school. For those of us that are teachers, that's when you go back to school after having the summer off, and then it's like study, study, study. That's when the tests come. It's really these intense emotional issues that are happening. You don't really hear that it's the cold season around the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Or Flag Day.
And I think the other thing that comes up for a lot of people, for me it did, was how much I just really dreaded winter. I mean, right. I had such I would go, when November would come, I would start to just like, oh my God, I got to go 6 months now without, really feeling 100%, that I do when I'm in the summer, with the sunshine. That's why I live in California now. And I think that brings down a lot of, just, emotional. Yeah. Okay. So let's dive into the Monadic and the antahkarana rainbow bridge. Talk about that.
Okay, so the antahkarana or the rainbow bridge is an occult term used to signify the evolutionary approach to God or the source. So evolutionary means moving to spirit, moving towards spirit. Involutionary means moving to matter. So the antahkarana or the rainbow bridge is an occult term used to signify the evolutionary approach to God or source. And it's an energy or a vibration between states of consciousness. So our goal, I love the title of your show, Soul Talk. You're not saying personality talk or emotional talk. The first stage of building the antahkarana, or the rainbow bridge, is making a connection to your own soul, or higher self. That is the first stage of building the rainbow bridge. The second stage of building the rainbow bridge is making a connection, building a bridge or an energetic presence up to the monadic plane. And this takes practice, and we do it through study, service, and meditation. Study, service, and meditation. You just can't. I always say to people, I want to become more spiritual. Well, how are you doing that? Well, I pray every day. Praying is talking to God. Praying is talking to God. Meditation is listening. And the soul and the monad are the two intermediaries between the lower mind and God. It's like a lazy Susan. You have to step it down. Or my father was a jeweler. So if you think of the source as pure gold, the monadic plane is 22 karat gold. The spiritual triad is 18 karat gold. The soul is 14 karat gold. And the personality is 10 karat gold. It's the most dense. You need a mechanism to get up into these different energetic presence. So it's study, service, and meditation. Study, service, and meditation. Another word for service would be dedication. You have to dedicate yourself to be doing this. Another word for study would be intention. And another word for meditation would be persistence. People say, I did it once and I didn't get anything. Well, you got to keep doing it. It's like brushing your teeth. It's like potty training a child. You have to keep doing it over and over and over again, and have a very strong dedication, a very strong intention, and very strong persistence. Study, service, and meditation, and it works because I do it, and I teach people how to do it.
And what is the ultimate benefit of dedicating yourself to that service?
A lifetime free of angst.
Yeah.
So you can, if you're say you're trying to decide if you're going to take this job or not. So you've got two jobs that are presented to you. And so what I would do is I would align and attune. I would connect with the soul and the monad, and I would ask the question, should I take job A or job B? And if you're connected, you will get, really simply, take job A. It's the guidance is short, it's sweet, it's to the point, it's not flowery, it's not judgmental, it's kind, it's loving. It's a lot easier than struggling for like 6 months deciding which job you should take, pros and cons. It's very simple. Like when I came here to Chappaqua from Florida, I was walking the streets and I just got a message, open your business here. Just really simply, I'm right in front of the building, open your business here. And I was like, what? And they're like, open your business here. And I'm like, okay. I was done. I didn't have to keep looking. I got the message, open your business here. And it's been perfect guidance for me.
So it's like it opens this like direct line to your higher self, your higher knowing.
Correct. And it's faster. Like the monad is fast. The soul is fast, but the monad is faster.
Interesting. Wow.
I like it fast.
Do you feel that it's something that, you're called to, to work,
yeah.
or is it, yeah?
This is totally my calling. This is totally my soul and monad's directive. If you had told me that I was going to be moving to Florida from my beloved state of New York a long time ago, I would have told you, no, you're wrong. But I got this message, it's time to go to Florida, and I was gone in 3 weeks. And then if you had told me that I was going to move back to New York after I'd been in Florida for 7 years, I would have told you, no, I'm not going back there. I got a message, time to go, and I left in 3 weeks. And so now I'm here. I'm the only person in the New York tri-state area that teaches this work. There's not very many active teachers in the country. And whenever I try to not do it, I get pulled back into it again. Get pulled back in. I mean, I've really dedicated my life to this work. It's changed my life. And on my website, theesotericbloom.com, and even on your sales page, Patty, I was looking at the videos this morning and on your sales page. And there's all kinds of people that have changed their lives from this work.
Yeah.
That were kind enough to do the video. We have 2 videos, kind enough to do the videos and testimonials for us. It changed people's lives. And they had done other things. They had done other, like this one person was talking about how they had been blown up by a stove and they had surgery and he was still in a lot of pain, and he went to massage therapy and yoga, and he did homeopathy, and he did chiropractic, and he did physical therapy, and I can't remember what else he did. I was just listening to this morning, and nothing helped. And then he did this, and, 4 sessions later, his pain was significantly better. But I had to ask him what was going on at the time that you were blown up by the stove, and he told me, and now how to take that trauma out. You have to take the trauma out of whatever causes the imbalance.
So talk about what other types of, reasons that people would come to you for esoteric healing.
Okay. So I have a lot of people that have PTSD. PTSD is a really big one. Right after 9/11, when I was working in New York, I treated a lot of people with PTSD. When I moved to Florida, lo and behold, I never said I was in 9/11, and the people that were in Florida, that were in 9/11, they found me and took out the trauma. PTSD is a big one, a really, really big one. And you can get post-traumatic stress when the stress is real or perceived. People don't understand that. It's real or perceived. I just took
I was just going to say that you may get a big influx from Hawaii after the false alarm this weekend. They say that a lot of people are going to really be experiencing traumatic PTSD.
Exactly.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks ago, a lady came to me for her son. Her son, I think, is 15. And she said to me, my son has been anxious all his life. And I'm like, all his life? Why? And, of course, then he gets the names that are associated with anxiety. And I said, don't worry, we'll figure it out. So I was doing some energy work with her first, because you have to clear out the mom before you do the kids, or you have to clear out the father before you do the kids. And I said to her, were you in 9/11? And she said, oh, yes, I was in 9/11. I said, it's still here in your system. And she said to me, as a matter of fact, my son was conceived 4 weeks after 9/11. I'm like, that's it.
Mm.
So she carried the trauma and passed it on to him. And so the anxiety that he's been carrying for 15 years was from 9/11. So I get a lot of that. I get a lot of fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia, if you listen to the commercials on TV, it's mostly a woman's imbalance. And it's really, and I think I did an MP3 for the package for fibromyalgia too, the energetics of fibromyalgia.
Right.
The thing with fibromyalgia, a lot of people don't even know that they're not talking, so they stuff their emotions. There's a heart chakra and a throat chakra situation, and the imbalance is on the soul level. So, again, when the imbalance is on the soul level, you have to have something that's higher that doesn't have the imbalance, and that's the monadic plane. And when the imbalance is on the soul level, it means you must shift your level of consciousness in order to heal. You must shift your level of consciousness in order to heal. And one of my favorite expressions is Albert Einstein said that no problem can be solved from the same consciousness that created it. And Wayne Dyer said there's a spiritual solution to every problem.
Right.
So you must shift that. So I get a lot of fibro people. I get a lot of autism. The autistic kids and people are connected. They're connected on the monadic plane, and a lot of them are telepathic, and a lot of them are clairvoyant, and they're clairaudient, but they don't have a mechanism to filter other people's stuff, and they don't have a mechanism to integrate into the planet. So I get a lot of autistic kids, and I think one of the testimonials that was on the sales page was from my friend that I worked with her autistic son. Now, it doesn't happen over, he was pretty low functioning on the autistic spectrum, but we had to take out a lot of trauma from him, and he was nonverbal when we started working with him. I had to teach the mom what to do, and he listened to my meditation every day. It was like non-negotiable to bring him some integration, and he's doing pretty well now. So I get a lot of autistic people. I get a lot of addictions. Addiction is a heart chakra issue. I would never tell anybody to stop the addiction. I would have to take out the trauma that created it. So I asked them, like, when did you start smoking? After my dad died, after my parents started divorce. You know, there's always a reason. It's not that everybody's doing it. I wasn't doing it. I had a lot of trauma when I was a kid, and I didn't reach for a cigarette, so I'm somebody. I get a lot of addictions and a lot of cancer I get. When you have a diagnosis of cancer, that's on the soul level, and it means you need to change now. Like, what's eating you, literally eating you up inside? So that's why I ask people again, what's bugging you? What's bugging you? And people tell you. So, and then I get people that want to really, like, I'm teaching a class here on February 18th, so I get people that really want to learn the work. They want to learn the work. They want to learn how to do it themselves. They want to learn how to do it in their everyday life. I taught an attorney to do the class. And so he connected with everybody's soul and monad that he was going to come into contact with. We asked for the highest and best good, and he was intuitively able to get the answers that he needed to do to win the case. That's fun.
Wow, that's cool. Wow. So are there people who won't heal?
Yes, there are. And I can always figure out the reason why. A lot of it is secondary gains, you know. Secondary gains are big. And Carolyn Mace, who was one of my mentors, she actually wrote a book, Why People Don't Heal and How They Can. So there's a slew of that. You know, healing is different than curing, and we did an MP3 about that too. Curing is you take an aspirin and the headache goes away, but the headache comes back when the aspirin wears off. But healing is a journey through consciousness. You have to really take a good hard look about what's going on in your life and what needs to change. And some people don't want to do that, and that's okay. That's okay.
Sometimes it's too hard.
We can only ask for the highest and the best good, the highest and the best, whatever that is at this moment, at this time. So
that's what's meant by healing the soul, the right relation between soul and the personality.
Not healing the soul, it's healing the bridge. The first part of the antahkarana is making the bridge between the personality and the soul. But it's not so much healing the soul. It's about healing the personality, the mind, and the emotional body, and lastly, the physical body.
Okay. So
I was thinking that maybe you should hear this alignment and attunement meditation. So
yeah,
we can take people on this journey to the antahkarana.
okay.
And I'm gonna. So here we go. So everybody on the call, if you could take 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or more deep breaths and allow the breath to carry you into your heart. Not forcing, but allowing. Allowing the breath to carry you into your heart. And the heart chakra carries the energy of Ray 2. The rays are energetic presence from the Creator. So invoke the energy of Ray 2, which is spiritual love and wisdom. Spiritual love and wisdom into your heart. And breathe. And using the principles of energy follows thought, think, see, feel, sense, intuit, visualize, or draw a connection from your heart to your ajna. Your ajna is your brow chakra. From your heart to your ajna. Think, see, feel, sense, intuit, visualize, or draw a connection from your heart to your ajna. And breathe. And from your ajna, using the principles of energy follows thought, building the first part of the rainbow bridge or the antahkarana, think, see, feel, sense, intuit, visualize, or draw a connection to your soul light or higher self, your soul light or higher self. And breathe. And now building the second part of the rainbow bridge or the antahkarana, using the principles of energy follows thought, think, see, feel, sense, intuit, visualize, or draw a connection to the I am presence, the monadic plane. I am here. I am here. I am. And from the monad, think, see, feel, sense, intuit, visualize, or draw a connection to the source of your understanding, the source of your understanding, whatever that is for you at this moment, at this time, the source of your understanding. And in this place of connection, let us ask for the highest and the best good. The highest and the best good. Whatever that is for you at this moment, at this time, the highest and the best good. And allow this healing energy from the source to flow gently back into your I am presence, the monadic plane, into your soul light, into your ajna, and into your heart, into your heart. And now you are connected as above and so below, as above and so below, highest and best good. And now as a service to this group call, even if you don't know who's on the call, using the principles of energy follows thought, make a connection from your heart to all the hearts of the people on this call. And breathe in the connection of the group heart. The group heart. And now, focusing on your soul light, make a connection to all the souls on this call. All the souls on this call. And breathe in the connection of the group soul. The group soul. And now focusing on your monad, using the principles of energy follows thought. Make a connection to all the monads on this call and breathe in the connection of the group monad. The group monad. Asking for the highest and the best good for this group. The highest and the best good. Whatever that is at this moment, at this time. And now that we are connected heart to heart, soul to soul, and soul to monad, if you have a prayer basket with names, people, places, and things, concerns, oh no's, ahas, make a soul and monadic connection to the people, places, and things, situations, concerns, oh no's, and ahas in your prayer basket, like I have here in my office. We ask for the highest and the best good. The highest and the best good, whatever that is at this moment, at this time. And lastly, as world servers, using the principles of energy follows thought, make a soul and monadic connection to the 5 planetary centers. The 5 planetary centers of London, Geneva, Darjeeling, Tokyo, and New York. Highest and best. Highest and best good. And now let's allow all this healing energy to come through our ajnas, over our shoulders, our elbows, and hands, and out into the world, wherever you go, wherever you may be. And so it is. So it is. Well done. Well done, everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. So what is the significance of the 5 cities?
The 5 planetary centers, according to the esoteric teachings, that is where the energy comes into the planet. So London represents the British Commonwealth. Geneva represents Europe. Darjeeling represents India and Asia. Tokyo represents the Far East. And New York represents the West.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so esoteric.
Wow. Wow, we're learning a lot here today. So, Bernadette, we have lots of questions. Before we dive into the questions, I would love for you to take a few minutes and talk about your special offer that you have for our audience. It's a great package.
Thank you. So I did the meditation, which is the Rainbow Bridge, when I was creating this package, and I asked, show me the highest and best good for the people that are going to be listening to this package. Show me the highest and the best good, and then show me how to do it. It's one thing to know what the highest and best good is, but you got to know how to do it.
How to do it.
So the first thing is the alignment and the attunement that I just talked you through, and I'm sure it's a little bit different because I do it a little bit different each time. That is the first thing, to learn this alignment and attunement. Even if you don't understand it, just do it, because the intention is to build the rainbow bridge, the antahkarana, and have it be a self-healing, and really get you into these higher stages of consciousness. The second one is the cliff notes according to the esoteric teaching on the 7 chakras. So every energetic modality has a little bit of a twist on the chakras. So this is according to the esoteric teaching. So it goes through the chakras, the color, the system, the gland, and its esoteric significance. The third one is the importance of the alta major minor, which again, I don't see that in other energetic modalities. The alta major minor is in the back of the head by the occiput. It controls the occiput. It controls the sympathetic nervous system. That's the one that's super activated in fibromyalgia. And the alta major minor is not a chakra, but it's a minor. In esoteric healing, we have minors, and the energy goes from the chakras into the minors, and then into the acupuncture points, and then into the physical body. So, and the alta major minor deals with conflict, and conflict. The fourth one is the energetic behind the cold and the flu, and an explanation of why the cold and the flu cannot be caught. The fifth one, as we talked about a little bit, is the difference between healing and curing, and it's very different for everybody. The sixth one is putting it all together. Because I'm a teacher, and that's my favorite thing to do is to teach, I wanted to put it all together, and I did it as a teaching, how the physical body is the last to heal, not the first. The seventh one is about the ajna. Now, the ajna, according to the esoteric teaching, is the brow chakra, and the brow chakra is not the same thing as the third eye. So everybody on this call has an ajna. Everybody on the planet has an ajna, but not everybody has a third eye. As you build the rainbow bridge or the antahkarana, your third eye gets larger, which is what you want. The next one is the 7 rays. And the 7 rays, we talked about it a little bit in the alignment. The rays are basically the 7 spirits from God. And the rays are different energetic presence. They're not talked about in a lot of the other energetic modalities, but I use the rays a lot. If I can't get a chakra to come to balance using the person's soul and monad, I do an invocation of the ray that controls that chakra. And everybody has 7 rays that make up who they are, but like a surgeon's energetic makeup is a lot different than an artist. The bonus is the fibromyalgia, and again I asked, show me what needs to happen here, because I'm really sick and tired of this fibromyalgia commercial where you get to go on Lyric and have all these side effects. So
right.
I thought it was really You're smiling, but you have side effects like crazy. I did that one as a service to humanity, and I aligned and attuned with all the people that were going to be listening to this fibromyalgia MP3, known and unknown, and I asked for the highest and best good, and I channeled the information through on fibromyalgia. And then the last one I think that we did was the 5 stages of soul development, SOUL development. And I had never done that one before, but everybody falls into these 5 stages of soul development, and it's a journey through consciousness. It's talking about the journey of the rainbow bridge or the antahkarana.
Okay, so the 5 levels of soul awareness, that is included in Package A? I thought that was with Package B.
No, that's included in Package B, Patty.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's how we have it written up. So Package A is the 8 MP3s and the bonus of the energetics of fibromyalgia, and that package is $97.
Correct.
And then we always have our 2-pay option available. This one is $49.50 for each payment. So it's one payment today and one payment in 30 days. And then Package B includes all of Package A plus the 25-minute private session with you, which I'll let you talk about, and then the 5 levels of soul awareness, as you had said. So
right.
Talk about what that session entails.
So the session entails is 25 minutes. I ask people to listen to the alignment and the attunement meditation at least 3 times before you have the session. So you start to build that rainbow bridge of the antahkarana to higher states of consciousness. Then when I ask them to email me when they schedule on the acuity one emotional issue, just one emotional issue that they have not been able to resolve in their lifetime. And you know, people will say, like, well, my finger hurts. That's not an emotional issue. I want to know what's bugging you, you know, what's just literally eating you up inside. So I do the alignment attunement. We balance the chakras, asking for the highest and best good. Then we balance the nervous system. And then in Esoteric Healing, there's metaphysical energy areas. So one is the courage area. So I'll usually do the courage area so the person has courage. Then I'll usually do like the spleen so they feel supported, or I'll do the spine so they'll feel supported, which is great because you get taller. And then I think about the emotional issue, and the person thinks about the emotional issue, which basically takes you back in time. And the chakras will then constrict. And we bring in this soul and monadic energy and ask for the highest and best good and take the trauma out. And most people feel lighter afterwards, lighter. Now, if you've got something that's been eating you up for 50 years and you're not willing to get rid of it, that's a little bit of a different story. We have to give you a little bit of willingness to want to get rid of it. But it's very, very, very powerful work. And then I always write everything down, and I always say to people, if you have any questions, problems, concerns, complaints, oh no's, what did you do to me, call me, text me, write me, because I have everything down, and I'll explain it to you.
Okay. And all these sessions are done by phone or by Skype?
Correct.
Okay. And then, again, item 2 on that Package B is the 5 levels of soul awareness, which you talked about. And that package, Package B, the special offer price is $157 for that. And again, we have that 2-pay option. So that, again, it includes all of Package A and the 25-minute session, the fibromyalgia, energetics of fibromyalgia, and the 5 levels of soul awareness. So that is a fantastic price for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty.
Yeah. And there's a question on the webcast about the fibromyalgia recording. She says, does it also, Lois in Minnesota, does it also work on chronic fatigue? She says she's had chronic fatigue for many other health issues, including cancer, in the last 30 years. She says, will this be beneficial for me?
To listen to the MP3?
Yeah.
Is that what? Sure,
yeah, she's asking about the fibromyalgia recording.
Yeah, it's beneficial. When you have anything chronic, I don't know what you've done as far as to help yourself, but if you have anything chronic and then you have cancer and now you have fibromyalgia, that's your soul saying, hello, we need to make some changes in your life. Hello, we need to move you up the ladder. These are the big guns. You know, if you've had it for 30 years, that's a really long time. So it asks, what was going on before then? What was going on before then? Take the trauma out.
Okay. There you go, Lois. You can type in if you have any response to that, and we'll look for that. Okay, let's dive into some questions. Let's see. We're going to go to, looks like Karen in Oregon. Last 4 digits are 7135.
Yeah, hi. Yeah,
Hi.
I have a lot of joint problems and back problems. Is that something you can help me with?
The joints are usually the basic chakra or the root chakra, and the low back is the sacral chakra, so that's the relationship chakra. So the basic chakra is survival, anxiety, deep fear and anger. It goes to your adrenals and it goes to your kidneys and your spine. And the sacral chakra goes over your hips, your knees, and your feet, and it deals with relationships of all kinds. That's money, people, places, things, spouse, kids. So yes, I would say those two chakras are depleted, and yes, it can help you with that.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Karen. Let's see, we're going to go to Elaine in Washington. We're going to stick to the West Coast here. Last four digits are 3660. Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Elaine.
Is this Elaine?
Hi, Patty. Hi, Bernadette. Gosh, such interesting information. I love Carolyn Mice, so it's really great that she was a mentor of yours. My question is, what would be related to a type of a blood disease? It's kind of iffy if they're putting it into a cancer. They call it a cancer, but it's actually my JAX2 switch is on, which has to do now with the DNA.
So blood is the heart chakra. Blood is the heart chakra. The heart chakra controls the blood, the immune system, the breath, the lungs, the heart organ. So the blood is the heart chakra, and they're calling it a cancer. Is that what I hear you correctly?
Yes. Blood cancer.
They're calling it blood cancer. So then the cancer is, I would ask you, you don't have to answer on the call, what's been eating you up inside? What's been eating you up inside? And how long it's been going on for?
Well, it's been a couple of years, and they say we know there's something happened in this time frame, but I don't know what it is. It obviously must have gone back farther than that.
Yeah, well, we would find it. We would find it. I mean, we could think about the year that it started or before that. Then you might, if you do the meditation, the alignment, and the attunement, it might come to you. It might come. You just say, show me what's going on here, in the language that I understand. Has to be in the language that you understand.
That's a good way to put it. Okay, good. I will try that.
Okay, great.
All right. Thanks, Bernadette. Bye, Patty.
You're most welcome.
Thank you,
dear.
Elaine. Let's see. Marcy in Houston, she has a question. She says they're also having a wintry mix down there. Wow, that's pretty far south to have that. Ice and snow and sleet. Wow. She says her question is, I have had chronic low energy, depression, and emotional imbalance since I was a child. I'm now 60 and have been through a plane crash in 1980, including head injury, back injury, and muscular injury, 14 car accidents, and a traumatic childhood. I have worked on myself since I was 16 years old, doing all types of Western and Eastern healing methods and spiritual evolutionary growth work in India. I've been in the healing arts since 1987. She says, can you see and help me with what's keeping my energy down? My finances are in trouble as well, and I have to start working while my health continues to be an issue. I appreciate any insight and help. Thank you.
Okay,
Marcy.
so you've done a lot of work, and you said you had a traumatic childhood. So did anybody take the trauma out from your childhood? That's what I would want to know.
Okay. So, Marcy, if you can type in, if you want to let us know that, so that would be the key.
Because you keep traumatizing yourself with the car accident. If the trauma, like that boy that I was talking about that had the 9/11 trauma in utero, he kept, because that trauma was there and never taken out, he kept re-traumatizing himself. So now there's, like the onion, there's a lot of layers. So we have to do the best we can to find the original trauma. Like, I don't know what your childhood trauma was. Were you conceived in love? Was there trauma in your parents? I took trauma out of the child of a Holocaust survivor the other day. So that's been in their pattern since, forever. Not forever, but since the Holocaust. So it gets passed down. So we would need to explore these different traumatic possibilities for you.
Okay. Well, Marcy, I hope that helps. If you want to type in, we'll look for that. Let's see. What is the other one here? Lisa in San Jose. She says, what is the best way for me to overcome my addiction to marijuana? I have used it to cope with life, and I would like any advice.
Okay, so it asks, when did it start? What was going on emotionally when it started, number one. And then we take you back in time. Besides, like I said on the call, any addiction is a heart chakra issue. Any addiction is a heart chakra issue. And there's a battle that goes on between the ajna and the heart. The heart and the ajna have to be in alignment. So say you get a message, time to start praying, and you say, no, I'm not dealing with that. And it keeps saying, time to start praying, and no, I'm not dealing with that. So the energy gets stuck. So the heart is the spiritual love and wisdom. But between the heart and the ajna is the throat chakra. So you have this energy that's going back and forth, battling between the ajna and the heart. So the throat chakra takes this energy and wraps it up in the form of an addiction and then drops it down into the sacral chakra to maintain it. So it asks again, what was going on for you when you started to smoke pot? And the other thing is, when you smoke pot, and this is not a judgment, there are these negative energetic presence called entities and waywards, and they make you do stupid things. And so the waywards and the entities come into your energy because the pot blows holes in your aura. So it just keeps reinforcing the addiction. So we have to take those out also. And I have a prayer that I say, that I give to everybody to say, that helps on a daily basis to rid your body and your energy field of waywards and entities. It's more like a command. It's not really a prayer. It's like a command. Get out of here. I hope that helps.
Get out of here.
I'll send it to you, Patty. I'll send it to you.
Okay. I'm sure many could use that. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see, Daniela, she's in Sweden, and she says, I was recently diagnosed with autoimmune imbalance. My immune system is attacking the histamine that is building up abnormally in my body. She says her liver and kidneys are not working properly, and my intestinal lining is inflamed. She's asking if you can, look to see what kind of blockages or negative energy patterns does she have.
Okay, so all autoimmunes are a heart chakra issue. All autoimmunes are a heart chakra issue. So I would ask you, then the heart chakra balances with the solar plexus. And the solar plexus controls the liver. And the solar plexus also controls the intestine. So when one chakra becomes out of balance and it's not addressed, begins to suck the energetics out of the other chakra that it's paired with. So the crown chakra goes with the basic chakra, the throat chakra goes with the sacral chakra, and the heart chakra goes with the solar plexus. So for you, your heart chakra and your solar plexus is not balanced. So it asks you, again, autoimmune, these are the things that the traditional allopathic medicine really don't have a lot to offer. So again, what's bugging your heart? Where are you stuck? And you're stuck in a place of either shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, or pride. And we need to get you to healing is joy. And then the kidneys go with the basic chakra, and the kidneys a lot of times hold grief and fear. So I know that's a kind of a big answer, but you have a lot going on. And it's all on the soul level. So it means you have to be able to connect with the monadic plane, the I am presence, in order to heal it, because the monadic plane does not have the imbalance. I hope that helps.
Okay, Daniela in Sweden. Thank you for your question. And Georgetta in California is wondering, is it my back pain? Is there back pain from a past life? How can I clear it?
Okay. I don't like to do past life work in the beginning because we usually have enough to work on in this lifetime before we go back to other lifetimes. Everybody likes to go back to the past lives. But back pain, usually is the sacral chakra. And again, that's your relationship with people, places, and things, situations, money. And back pain is the second most common reason people take time off from work, secondary to the common cold. So I don't know what you've done. I see a lot of chronic back pain people. It's not that hard to fix.
Okay, Georgetta. So you may want to take advantage of Bernadette's special offer, that she may be able to help you with that. Marcy in Houston typed back in, and she says, I've worked with healers clearing all events in childhood, including karmic release and childhood clearings, and from before conception to adulthood. I do not know if all the energy has been cleared. Well,
right. There you have it.
There you go.
I don't think
Thank you, Marcy.
I don't think it is. Thanks for typing in. I don't think it's all been cleared. Clear means clear. Clear means gone. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Not there anymore.
And things start lining up for you in life. So, yeah. Well, Bernadette, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for bringing this amazing work to our Soul Talk audience. This new, we haven't had anyone on before that's talked about esoteric healing. So I'm very grateful.
Oh, Patty, you have no idea. I'm grateful, too. It's perfect. Thank you so much.
Oh, wonderful. And take advantage of Bernadette's special offer. Fantastic opportunity to work with her and all of her healing meditations as well. And thank you, everyone, for being here. Sending big hugs and much love. Thank you, Bernadette. Stay warm tonight.
Patty, thank you, everybody. It really was, I'm totally enjoy. I don't even think I can drive. I'm going to have to sit here and enjoy for a while and just take it all in. It's always an honor and a pleasure to do service and talk about the alignment and attunement and the rainbow bridge. And, you know, there's more information on my website, theesotericbloom.com, and come to the class February 18th. You'll learn more. The only side effect is you'll feel more better. You feel more better.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. You're amazing. I love your show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Sending big hugs to everyone. And with that, we're going to say goodbye to everyone. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.